We live.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Around the Metaverse, our weekly show where we bring together some of the best content creators from around the blockchain and NFT gaming community, talk about all the recent news in the industry, and give you guys everything you need to know to stay up to date. My name's Adam, and I'm your host today. But I've got our usual cast here today, and man, we got a jam-packed show. We got Stache here, our mustache aficionado, Jake from On-Chain Gaming out there in space right now, it looks like a little bit. Zueljin, how you doing, man? How's it going today?
Hello. I never heard the word aficionado before. Can you define that for me?
Aficionado? I'm pretty sure it's like or like
you're really good at something.
He's efficient at something. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My vocabulary goes beyond my understanding of it sometimes. But last but not least, man, we got Cagyjan in the house too. How's it going, man?
Everything good, man. Everything chilling. About to go into fight mode here, especially with Jake right here.
Yeah, we're gonna debate this one out.
Oh God!
all right.
Fight mode.
And I mean, we got a jam-packed show today, man. Like, I don't know about you guys, but every week to me it seems like things can't get crazier. And then like each day I wake up in the morning and I'm like, holy cow! Like, how is this going on? Like, how's this going on? Like. Today we're talking about how gaming leads to mass adoption. We have the head of YouTube, or the head of YouTube Gaming, talking about how play to earn is one of the next, or probably the biggest, or the next biggest, and probably the biggest.
They've been seeing all our channel growth. That's why. That's
they said that. Man.
Yeah.
They know.
We're all popping up.
They're seeing the clickbaits. They're seeing all the clickbaits. 100x. NFT to the moon, all of that good stuff. They're like, we love it.
Channels that have 2,000 subscribers now have videos with 400K views, and they're like, yeah, this is the next big thing.
Channels with almost no subscribers are getting hundreds of thousands of views just because they want to cover, the stuff that we do every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm still not there. I still don't have a video at that level, man. I can't believe it,
dude. You've had some pop off though the last couple of months. So
I mean, in comparison to some of you guys and or some other people, but man, yeah, it's crazy seeing the explosiveness of this industry and how quickly a channel can jump in, start doing content, and really get found. I started to see that, and I started panicking, man, earlier this year because I was like, "What the hell's going on, Stache? What are you doing wrong, man?"
Because you were first, and then people started passing you, but now you're coming back. You're coming back big. Yeah, you're figuring it out.
We're all fighting for the first spot, man. We're all fighting for the first spot, but hey, man, we're an NFT family when you boil it down. But
that's true.
We're all in this together, and. All right, back on track, man. Our second topic today is we're going to be talking about token price and NFT price. I don't know. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but we had one coin, and I don't know how much everyone's exposure to this ecosystem is, but there's a lot of NFTs out there that were really under the radar that are now worth probably about 150% more than they were.
1 trillion. That's what you're saying. 1 trillion.
Doesn't that happen every day?
Well, all right, but there's some big news around this one. All right, and then last but not least, man, we're gonna be talking about NFTs in the bear market, and whether or not we're gonna see one. But to start off, man, let's talk about how the head of YouTube Gaming is talking about how play to earn is the next biggest model, man. I think that is big news coming from obviously the biggest streaming platform and a company that basically revolutionized how we enjoy content and use it today, right? And
are we on YouTube right now? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We live everywhere.
But yeah, man, I think that this revolution we're seeing right now is going to really lead to mass adoption of blockchain technology and gaming's where it's at, man. What are your thoughts on that, Jake?
Yeah, all right. So I think when it comes down to it, and I might have said this on this podcast before, I'm not sure, but the biggest barrier to playing games on an individual level is that after you've spent time playing, and it doesn't matter how much you enjoy the game, doesn't matter how much fun you're having, but if you play for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours and you log off, you feel like you wasted your day because you didn't benefit yourself in real life at all. If you have things to deal with in real life, you still got to deal with them after playing those games. And everything you've done in that game is meaningless in real life. But play to earn gaming changes that biggest barrier to gaming on the individual level and allows you to find actual value from time spent in virtual worlds. And because these currencies you're earning are cryptocurrencies that can be changed for US dollar, because these items that you're gathering are NFTs with real ownership that can be sold to other players, all of a sudden time you spend in virtual worlds actually matters to you after you log off. And that is why the CEO is right. The CEO of YouTube is right. Play to earn gaming is the next big thing because it solves the #1 issue on the individual level when it comes to playing video games.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, man. I recently saw a tweet where it was they were essentially talking about how have you guys played Dota 2 at all, or Dota? Man, like
yeah,
I don't know.
Played some Dota.
I used to game a little bit in college, man, but I used to be able to have a part-time job. I painted a little bit, but I was seeing some tweets of people talking about how in a few years, right? Students in college are probably going to be able to make enough money playing blockchain games to sustain their life, right? Without having to pick up a second job or something like that. I mean,
it's very possible, especially if they're good.
I think the landscape and honestly, how much people are going to be spending time in these digital worlds is going to increase tenfold, right, over the course of the next few years. Stache, what do you think is the next kind of big thing in GameFi?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the next real big thing we're going to start to see is kind of precursor by what we're talking about right now, is that people are starting to take notice. YouTube's starting to take notice, and probably, yeah, they do see something in the algorithm. They watch those things. Head of gaming for YouTube is obviously going to be keeping tabs on what's going on in the greater gaming world and trends. But I think that's actually a pretty big step, and so I think the next big thing that we're going to see is we're going to see AAA studios jumping on board with this. We're going to see them start to announce that their next title is going to incorporate NFTs in some sort of way, that they're going to have cryptocurrency, backed, in-game economies. And it makes sense because they're already doing it anyways. Just make it and put it on the blockchain. Like literally V-Bucks on the blockchain. It's not that hard. Like we already know how the economy works. We know how that's, how it affects things and how what you do to it affects things. Now, obviously the side that they don't know much about is the outside of the game effects, right? If you can trade that in a marketplace, how does that affect the economy of the game in the long run? And so I think we're still kind of experimenting with that. But I think really the next big thing we're going to see is just starting now with people recognizing that this is the future, and these big gaming studios are going to recognize it too. I really think they are.
Yeah. Definition of viral capacity.
I wonder too, and I think like you said, they're going to start realizing. But I wonder too, like I think part of the hesitancy and why we haven't seen any one of these big AAA studios really dive in yet is kind of there have to be some regulatory concerns, right? When it comes to these big giant companies, these public companies with investors who, are essentially gonna
look at what happened with Facebook when Facebook wanted to create their own currency. The government came in and shut Facebook down. They said, no Libra, you can't do it. So it's a lot easier for new up and coming startups to create their own coins because the government feels zero threat from it. But I feel like if you have one of these bigger companies like Blizzard or something say, we're going to introduce our own currency, that would start to raise heads from Congress and stuff like that. So yeah, there is regulatory threat there. And I do think that is slowing down how aggressive some of these bigger companies are. But then the other side is, they will have to change their entire business model to switch over to crypto gaming. And that is a very scary thing, especially when you have shareholders that are expecting you to have a certain number of revenue, and like Wall Street wants to be able to like perfectly predict what your next revenue is going to be. So to completely shift a business model over, that's really scary for a big company. And I think that they're gonna be slower to get into this than a lot of people hope.
I think, here's what I think. That is exactly why I'm more bullish on the actual NFTs rather than games being fully play to earn, like a token like the one Axie Infinity has and other games have. I'm on the collectible side of things. I own more collectibles than gaming tokens, right? I'm enjoying more right now buying a game and they're collectible even if they don't have a play to earn economy. I was kind of against that at the beginning, but I realized that that's gonna be the way. That's gonna be the way of adoption.
Are you afraid though, Cagy? Are you afraid that when a lot of NFTs come out that do have real utility, it might drop the value of some of those utilityless NFTs? Like if some really good NFTs start coming out, people start focusing on those.
Well, an NFT can have utility
look,
and not necessarily have a play to earn element for the game. You know, so it could still have utility in the game. It just may not be. It just may not be. You can earn it.
I mean,
in the
look
game
at Blancos.
Or,
Blancos is doing a collaboration with Deadmau5, a collaboration with Burberry.
Yeah.
I mean, look, those collectibles are not gonna go anywhere, right? They don't need to have a play to earn economy.
Plus,
it's way easier for people to go in. Go ahead, Z.
And when there's some crossover and you have your NFTs that you can put in other metaverses as well, that's when you're going to start seeing big adoption too. Imagine being able to invest in an avatar NFT that you can carry in multiple games. You know, Jake can be playing his MMO with his avatar and then also have his avatar in a card game, you know, and you know, and people see that across the way. I think that has a lot to do with like VR as well is going to get really, really big after a little while, and being able to identify with these NFTs. Because right now, think about how popular avatar projects are on just for social media profiles like Twitter. You know, if you have a metaverse that's really, really prevalent and a lot of people participate in it, it's going to be valuable to be able to carry that cosmetic, so to speak.
I mean, yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. I've picked up a few avatars recently, and it makes you feel a special kind of way, doesn't it? You know, like you feel like you're, you know, a part of something.
I never thought I would have changed my Twitter avatar, man.
I'm never doing it. I'm never changing my damn picture ever. I'm not. There's nothing that's going to give me the change. No matter how many mustaches they slap on there.
Stache, you're failing. You're failing.
Wait till you buy an NFT for $500.
Hold up. We're gonna do a 10K. We're gonna do a 10K generative of Stache, of just the little Stache's different costumes. We're gonna make 10,000 different combinations of the different costumes, and then you can make your profile picture it, right? If it's still you,
I'm
right?
not even gonna. Okay, so I have a collection of NFTs coming out that feature me, and I'm still not gonna change my damn profile pic to it. I don't know, man.
Boomer. Come on, boomer.
It's not the boomer. I like having.
Where do we buy the boomer coin, man? I'm kidding.
Wherever you buy the boomer coin, man, I want to buy some of that because that for sure is going to be the next rock.
Where do I short the boomer coin is the better question.
Short the boomers, for
sure. True, actually true.
But all right. But back on track, man. All right. And speaking of these NFTs, right, that we're seeing some crazy valuations for right now, we have to realize too that I'm going to cite Ether rocks here for a second. Like some of these people have been talking about, I think it might have already happened where did we see a 7-figure Ether rock? I think it happened the other day, right?
They're high. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Well, I was having this conversation where my friends, my non-NFT friends, right, who, you know, don't
everyone.
Yeah, think this is like some craziness, right? I tell them that rocks are being sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars and they shake their head at me. And then I go on to say, but wait until Ethereum is 10 or is $7,000, right? And then one of those rocks really cost, right? And that brings me to the next kind of big news that happened. Just was it yesterday or was it 2 days ago?
Yesterday.
Yeah, it was last night, right? So yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wax, but I want a blockchain that I know and love. It's probably like where I have most of my NFT exposure, and you know, one of the best communities I think in the NFT space finally got picked up by a bigger centralized exchange. And actually, like prior to now, you'd have to like, if you're a US citizen at least, you'd have to like go out of your way to like do all kinds of sneaky stuff to like get around the regulations, to be able to buy Wax, to like actually do stuff on Wax. And
still
now,
gotta do that.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's Binance. It's a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier. And it's a lot easier for those of you not in the United States. But yeah, man, Binance picked up Wax and it shot up. I think like there was probably like 100% 5-minute candle or something like that. It was literally a wall of green that happened.
Did you sell?
We call that the green dildo.
All right. So I'm going to get to talking about how all of our NFTs are worth more because of that now. But Cagy, to respond to you, man, I'll be honest, I was losing a little bit of faith in Wax, like not as an ecosystem, but in terms of holding capital there.
I've taught you nothing.
Well, all right, man. Come on. I still have a big bag, and I'm still like I was only going to take a little bit and move it over to Solana DeFi, right? I was only going to move a little bit.
Solana's huge.
I traded out a lot of it.
Solana's going to be
not
big.
alone, brother. You're not alone. It's true.
But so
it has a
it's
lot
funny,
to do
man.
with the project hype too that you see at one time. Sometimes when there's a lot of energy in the ecosystem, a lot of projects that you think are very interesting, and there's a lot of hype, especially in the specific communities that you're in, it's a lot easier to be confident about having a specific token and holding it. But when things are slow, like right now, there's not a whole lot that's exciting that was happening for me personally in Wax. I traded out for BNB because there was a lot of BNB projects I was into, a lot of BSC stuff that I was really into, and a bunch of stuff that really is turning my head as far as NFTs as well. So having disposable capital is just it's more practical for me at that time. And BNB's been doing well too. Don't get me wrong, Wax did a lot better than BNB over this last week. But it's just to say, it would have been really nice to be.
I don't hold blockchain coins at all.
Guess how lucky I am, man. Guess how lucky I am.
Collectibles all the way, baby.
I started unstaking Wax, right? So I unstaked like a few days. Like honestly, it's still in the process of doing it right now, and like literally the liquidity is gonna hit, right? And then it's gonna be, you know, we're gonna see. I got a lot more buying power now than I did a couple days ago. Let's put it that way.
Good, man.
You're rich.
But yeah, so
in chat.
Guys, I've been holding and supporting the Wax project since their ICO days, and I've been accumulating and never sold one token.
No way.
Never ever cashed out one token for Wax, and I'm sitting on a mountain of
I was about to say,
a veritable
you must be.
Everest of Wax.
You have fuck you money is what you're saying. You got fuck you money. Damn, bro.
Just do it, man. Just do it.
That's all that matters. You were talking about like earlier about you know being number one on YouTube. Literally, there was a point where I said, all I want is fuck you money, and then YouTube. I don't want to depend on how many viewers I have on YouTube. No, fuck you money, and then we're good. And then I'm doing YouTube for fun, for real. I really enjoy it. So,
but then
I don't care anymore.
But that's what I'm saying. So when we talk about like the token price, how it affects the actual underlying NFT, what do you guys? I mean, I think that's actually a pretty big thing, because you see like if you're buying NFTs once the price has skyrocketed, you're getting you if you had a bunch of that, you're getting more value for a buck. But if you're selling, it's maybe not the best thing. You wanted to sell in a bear market. You sell in a bear market, you buy in a bull market, right? And that's kind of what's that?
That's what most people do. I'm very contrarian though. So
why would you do it the other way?
No. You when people are sleeping on stuff, that's when you go and buy everything up. Like after something crashes or when something's flying under the radar. Right. After something blows up, that's when you start selling.
What I mean is the other way is the other way around. So having your own NFT project, you want to sell, like I was coming from the side of your own NFT project. So me creating my own NFTs on Wax, I want to sell them during a bear market, because you're gonna get way more Wax for those NFTs, right?
Okay,
and then
I see what you're saying.
Exactly. Absolutely right. Yeah. So and then be buying as a buyer in a bull market, for those types of NFTs, because
that's how you do it.
But you're right. The other way around.
Yeah. So like when Ethereum is like $1,500, which maybe it never goes back to there. Right. Like that is when you sell an NFT for hella ETH, and then when ETH shoots up, the inevitable dollar price is going to cause the number of ETH that an NFT sells for to go down.
Unless the NFT is really good.
You would think that. You would think about
NFTs that don't.
There are NFTs that don't, though. You're right.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's what people would think, is that when the underlying token price for an NFT that it's sold in goes up, you think people would then rush to go like lower the price back down in the cryptocurrency to kind of match the amount of USD value that it was originally valued at. But that doesn't seem to be the case, in particular on Ethereum. We do see that a little bit more on Wax. Now, I have seen that on Wax where people, they'll go and lower the prices down to be close to what it was based upon the USD value. But a lot of times I feel like on Ethereum, they don't do that. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah. Of course, there's people like, I think the same game plan that you said. It's a big old game. You sell for a lot of Wax, and then with all that amount of Wax, when it's in a bull market, then you buy the NFTs. People do that, really do that in Ethereum. They have all this stash of ETH, that they forget about the dollar price.
Yeah.
They just buy in terms of ETH. Really,
It's just about like what is everything getting measured against? And I think that the Ethereum community is big enough and Ethereum is established enough now that for a lot of projects on Ethereum, stuff is literally just measured against Ethereum. People don't even think about the US dollar value. So that's very true. And then I think Wax, because it's a little bit smaller, a little less established so far, that's why people are still kind of going off the US dollar price instead of the Wax price. And that's why you see those fluctuations more on the smaller chains.
Well, man, and we can't forget either, like, let's not be blind to the fact that, and this happens on Wax too, but I don't think to the same scale it does on Ethereum, that, like, have you guys heard of the Bring a Trailer effect? So like, like this website, Bring a Trailer, it's a car auction site, and like, essentially someone, like there are these rare cars, right? Then someone sells a model car at a certain price, and now all of those models of cars, the floor, right, is that price, because there's price history saying that. And like we can't be blind to the fact that on ETH, man, it's just a bunch of whales trading back and forth between wallets. Like,
right, but the problem with that is that when you're talking about classic, valuation models like that, they're only valuing it against USD, right? So they're saying the price of this object valued against USD, but in crypto we're kind of doing a triple entendre there, right? So you're saying the price of this NFT is valued X amount in ETH, which is X amount of US dollars. And that's how a lot of people will kind of say that, we'll look at that. And, somebody in chat right here was like, new money measures in USD, and old school hodlers, they measure in crypto or against like BTC or against Ethereum. And so that's kind of how I think you would look at it a lot of times.
BTC is king. BTC is king. Let's make that clear.
Yeah.
Very clear. I know, Stache.
Yeah.
Stache, I know you're very big.
Baby.
You're big. You're big on BTC. What do you think about that? People saying Ethereum is gonna take over. I know this is like deviation, but like I'm interested.
The switching, is that what it's called?
The flipping.
I don't fucking know.
The flipping.
Like the Highlander. I like it.
I don't see Ethereum like overtaking Bitcoin in that kind of respect. I think that they both have their own place. I don't think we're going to really see smart contracts coming to Bitcoin in the same way that they have for Ethereum. So I think they're always going to be kind of a 1-2 punch. Now, when it comes to like market capitalization, there's a lot more going on Ethereum that can affect that in the long term. And there's not as much in Bitcoin. It's a very tried and true, kind of stable. We'll say a little bit more stable when it comes to cryptocurrencies, but not changing as a fast a pace as Ethereum. Yeah. Even though Ethereum hasn't changed at a very fast pace. I personally
think that Bitcoin is definitely going to go to the trillions of dollar market cap, but also I do think it's a very real possibility, especially as ETH burning. You see like so much ETH is getting burned since the recent change, and there's a very real possibility ETH does go above Bitcoin in total market cap eventually. But that said, Bitcoin's still going to 5x, 10x. Like
it makes sense. Yeah, it's like the App Store. We got the App Store on the blockchain, basically. It's insane.
And I mean, with like houses and everything.
But one of them has a lot more use than the other one. Like a lot.
True, that's
true.
Right, but when you say use, like utility for sure, Ethereum wins in that, like hands down. We all know that. I mean, there's lots more utility there, but it does have its problems, just like Bitcoin has its problems as well. That people will say, oh, it's too slow, but some of those things are actually features built in. And so I think that there's a lot more factors that are going to affect Ethereum over time that will mess with the price. And obviously the new EIP that came in, where it's helping to burn some Ethereum in these fees in the transactions, is great, but is still a coin that doesn't have any kind of max supply. And I mean that may work as far as when you talk about the currency side of things, right? But when you talk about the store of value side of things, I definitely see Bitcoin keeping that reign, and I don't think we're going to see that with Ethereum. I think that it makes sense to have a 1-2 punch.
NFTs is a store of value for sure.
Yeah,
if you buy the right ones,
for sure.
Yeah, when you have a 1 of 1, I mean, there's not much inflation there.
No, but truly, because my parents, they have a art gallery, so we always had more collectibles than
collectibles
money.
In your DNA. I didn't know that about you, Caggy.
100%.
That's good information there.
100%. Right now, I'm in a studio, and this is full of art. Right
I see the picture behind you. It's cool.
Yeah, that one I had somebody make it. But the point is that those are store of value, but they're hard to sell sometimes. But they're not value.
Liquid.
Yeah, they're not that liquid, but they do store value, and I like it a lot because in the case of NFTs, bear market. Somebody was talking in the chat. Do you read chat? Yeah, we do read chat. So in the bear market, yes, it's amazing to have NFTs because if they have a use case, I mean, I'm chilling. What am I worried about?
Yeah.
Right.
But
if they have a use case, in my opinion,
yeah, like
amazing.
Jake was saying, you know, the liquidity of something like that's the biggest issue when it comes to NFTs and a store of value. So yeah, they do store value, and there's something that can store value over time, but the liquidity for NFTs are so much lower than when it comes to comparison to Bitcoin. I mean, you can easily sell Bitcoin any time of day across 1,000 different apps in 1 million different languages, and it doesn't really require someone to have specialized knowledge or specialized desires or you know, tastes. Right, just like art. Art is the same way. It's something that classically rich people have used as a store of value, but you know, you're only going to be able to sell to a certain amount of people. And the NFTs take that same sort of you know, stance. Now, Bitcoin doesn't necessarily do that. It does work more like gold. People, you know, people are like, oh, I don't know, that piece of gold is not really, you know, my style. You know, I don't know if I hang that gold on my wall. Like, yeah, who cares, man? It's gold, dude. You know. Yeah. So I think that there's going to be these places for both these currencies, but they definitely do have an effect when the token price changes on the NFT price and what's going on. Like that. So.
Yeah, I definitely feel most comfortable when I own a lot of NFTs, but also own a decent amount of Ethereum, a decent amount of these core chain currencies.
Jake, how much you have? Because you do go into Tesla a lot. So are you cashing out value out of
he's giving Elon his Bitcoin. He's giving Elon all his Bitcoin, man.
Only 10%.
Jesus Christ, man.
Andy, you caught me. Andy, you caught me.
You
caught me. I've been turning Axie profits into Tesla shares. Oh!
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. There you go. The big news dropped here. Jake is in Tesla. He's been converting all his Axie profits.
NFT liquidity is going to change, man. And NFTs won't always be illiquid, I'm pretty sure. Like, aren't they building, at least in some ecosystems? Like, I know for Star Atlas, for example, like, isn't Serum Dex, it's built with Serum Dex, right, on Solana. Mm-hmm. And isn't there some kind of like back-end liquidity for the NFTs that people are selling, or do you need to?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if there's the back-end liquidity, but I mean, something like Engine kind of makes sense too when you look at the ecosystem and, you know, what that means. You know, all Engine NFTs have to be, when they're minted, they're backed by Engine tokens, right? You know, so that is, I always thought that was a pretty novel idea, and I'm surprised that we haven't seen more chains do that. Now, you can do that on Wax, and you can back actual NFTs with the currency themselves, but you're not required to. Now, with Engine, you're required to, and seeing that kind of come to more change, I think that could help with the liquidity of an NFT.
You can do it in ETH. You can do it in ETH. There's a protocol that does that. It's beautiful, actually.
There's another thing coming to NFTs that I think is really going to help with the liquidity. And I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a CryptoPunk that was sold to like hundreds of people. And what happened was someone can like destroy their CryptoPunk and turn it into a bunch of different shards.
Fractionalize
it, exactly. And then a bunch of people can come in and buy up like 49% of the NFT or something. And that way you get liquidity, but you still have majority ownership of your NFT. And then there'll be a buyout price. So if anyone wants to buy out that CryptoPunk and bring it together, that's possible. So like if you're in a place where you just need some money real quick, you're gonna be able to, like with my Town of the Duke, break it down into 100 pieces, sell parts of it to a bunch of different people, and then later say my financial situation got better again and I could buy it all back up, then I could do that later on. So
Axie was the first one to innovate there.
How did Axie do it?
Back in with Niftix, back in like mid 2020, Gabby Dizon did it, Cloud White did it. And bro, we were like, what the fuck is this? Mm-hmm. And we knew that was gonna be like, I have a bunch of those tokens of Axie, fractionalized Axie. Actually, Gabby Dizon, to your point, the one that owns one of the rarest Axie out there, he was trying to do the buyout clause.
Yeah, actually, no, I remember this now.
For 400 something. Mm-hmm. And G-Host came out, he's like, nah, bro, we're gonna deny that offer. As holders, we're denying it. That's too cheap, bro. Wow. And it is pretty cheap. Like 400, it's like 1 out of 1. Like not even.
We ain't gonna settle for that, man. We ain't gonna settle for that. Come on.
I don't think it's even a mystic. It's an Amadeus or whatever the fuck they call it. I forgot the name.
Yeah, there's been quite a few fractionalized projects out there that are doing stuff like that. When you look at they're like Grow Your Base did some stuff like that. If you guys know about them, they worked with a company to do that, where they have a portfolio of like popular NFT artists, and they put them all into a basket, and they fractionalize that basket, which I thought was pretty cool. So not just doing one NFT, but having a basket of like 10 or 15 high-end NFTs, and then creating shares that represent ownership of all of those things as the back.
Like an ETF. Yeah. That's
I was about to say, let's bring this full circle, man. Like, just wait until that concept transcends just our space and into like the traditional art world. Like, then people who don't normally, like, you can't just go out and buy like a Monet or
Picasso, Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa's never going to be fractionalized.
There's going to be companies that do that too.
But there will be opportunity for people who don't traditionally have access to those types of markets to get exposure to it, right? And that's what NFTs
people out there who would want to own 10% of the Mona Lisa. Like,
absolutely, what the fuck?
The actual original Mona Lisa, like that. Yeah, of course people would want to do that. What do you guys think about the fact, though, that when you fractionalize, you can put a little like expense on all the little shares of your NFT, where when they get traded, a tiny percentage goes back to the main owner,
like market fee? That would be neat too.
Yeah. So that's already getting implemented. The way I've seen it implemented so far is essentially anytime something's traded, there's like an additional share that's created and sent to the main owner. So you still are trading the same amount. So none of like what you're selling and none of what you're buying goes away, but essentially the entire NFT gets inflated a tiny bit, and a little bit more ownership goes to the main owner.
I'm not sure about I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. We're gonna think about that one.
Just get 51%, Cagyjan, then you won't have to worry.
I'm sorry?
Just get 51% of it, then you won't have to worry. You'll be able to call the shots.
Yeah,
no. It's not about the shots. It's like it's the inflation part,
Yeah.
I'm not sure about.
It could make people not want to invest in it, but if it's like really small, then
it's
maybe
like
they
gas
don't
fees.
care. Yeah, exactly.
Like gas fees.
If it's like $3,
I want to hear Stache input on this. Stache.
I mean, yeah, like when it comes to something like that, I wouldn't want to buy something that was being inflated like that, because you look at it and you're like, okay, well, I paid this much for this much ownership, and then if someone buys or sells, now I have one of 100th. Like it's one of 100. I bought one fraction of 100, but then now there's an extra one being created. Like, you definitely don't want to go that route. I think that actually one of the more interesting use cases too is when you talk about like, okay, fractionalizing, I think is a cool thing to do. But if you're really trying to get trying to get liquidity out of an NFT without selling it, I think being able to borrow against an NFT makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
And so when we're talking about like this gaming NFT bear market, essentially, that might hit us at some point. When we hit a bear market for NFTs, and you're at a point where like, oh man, maybe I should be selling my NFTs, or maybe you're selling a crypto. Don't do it. Go ahead and borrow against something like that, and then use that to get liquidity out of your NFT, so you still own it, and then you can pay back that loan essentially over time, and you can even use that to leverage possibly swinging back up to the bull market and come out sparkling clean with a lot more profit and your NFT still.
The hard part about that as the lender, though, is that because NFTs fluctuate in value so much, it's really hard to know, like, how much is this person's NFT worth? How much risk am I willing to
you're gonna get margin. You're gonna get margin called on your CryptoPunk.
You could, but I mean, for a project like CryptoPunks, you wouldn't. So it would definitely have to be projects that are at a certain quality, and because you see most of these projects, even if they're lower projects, you don't see them drop down too much. Even for the smaller projects that have a floor of like 0.02 or 0.01 ETH, once you establish kind of that floor, unless something drastic happens with the project, it doesn't, you're not going to see the price floor drop that much. Like with what was it, Fame Lady Squad? There was all that drama where it came out that actually no, the creators weren't women, and it was like some Russian dude, right? And they weren't women at all, and they were always saying, it's the first women fully created decentralized NFT project, and
And
then
they're rebooting it, aren't
and then
they?
they
Isn't
rebooted
there,
it, and they actually sold it to actual women in the NFT space who took it over, and it was like, I don't know, it did drop a little bit, but then people snapped them back up, and I don't know.
I would never touch that project after something like that. What makes you think? What makes you think that that's not an inside job? After they what?
Could have been.
People are crazy. I mean, bro, you just get a bunch of women friends be like, yo, I'm gonna sell you this NFTs. You guys take over.
Yeah.
But we still behind this, okay? Like,
once you violated trust, you violated trust.
Yeah,
and that makes it a lot harder to trust someone.
Even Gary Vee just recently put out like on his Twitter like a pseudo warning to everyone in the space, right? That like it's getting real crazy out here. You know what I mean? It's getting real crazy, and like
identified as a woman.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be spending money on stuff you can't lose, right?
Yeah.
And I honestly think we're going to see some downward action for a lot of these projects in terms of their valuation. But let me ask you guys this. And honestly, I think at some point, right, even in the grander scheme of not just NFTs, I think, this bull run is gonna come to the market's gonna change at some point. I don't know when, right? I don't know when, but eventually it's not gonna be all butterflies and rainbows and green candles, right? It's gonna be a little tough. But my question is, man, do you think people are gonna stop playing Axie Infinity? Like, even if the assets go down, even if AXS goes down, do you think that people are going to stop playing the game because like you're still getting passive income? Like, some passive income is better than no passive income. And as long as, not just for Axie even, but blockchain gaming in general, and games that actually do have, not saying that Axie doesn't, but games that really have that nailed down the play to earn economy, right? Where you'll be able to still make some passive income even when, the sky is falling. Do you guys think that?
Most people won't. You're gonna have the community of people that are addicted to the game. Truly, there you got those. You're gonna have the esports people that are, they truly want to compete, and some new people kind of playing it here and there. And you're gonna have investors, not really investors, but people that have vision and might be like, yo, I'm gonna keep playing this, keep stacking all this, and kind of just stash it. A bunch of people don't believe in it, but I believe in this. Pam, 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 pam. And you're going to have a little bit of that community. But most people, I think, especially the new people, the old people might keep playing it, but the new people, which is the most, they're going to say, well, this is scam. I'm out. Pa, 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 pa. Some shit like that. So, but maybe it's good. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good hit for Axie to be like, yo, line gameplay, this, that, the other thing, right? Just bam, 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 just roll out some updates. I don't know.
I mean, dude, I bet when the bear market hits, right, I bet there's game or like indie games or maybe even AAA games, who knows? But I bet there are some projects out there in the community that are like waiting, right? They're developing, they're taking their time because obviously it takes a long time to develop a great game, right? And they're gonna wait till the bear market hits and like everything is crashing and burning, and then they're gonna launch, right? And then everyone is gonna think like for example, imagine if Gold Fever decided to launch during the bear market. And I was reading today that you can basically set up a store in Gold Fever and have an NPC run it the whole time. So and I mean, we've on many of, I think on all of our channels or most of our channels, we've talked about that game, and I think it's gonna be maybe one of the best play to earn opportunities that comes around in the near future. And it's hard for me to see the bear market really affecting that. I'm still going to play the game.
Yeah, when you think about what's caused the bear markets in the crypto market so far, it's been the fact that there's just no catalysts that people see in the short term. And when people don't see catalysts in the short term, they're like, I might as well sell out. So we saw the Bitcoin crazy run up after halvening and then kind of calm down, and then the next halvening, another crazy run up. But the thing about NFT gaming is there are just still so many catalysts ahead, and there's not really going to be multi-year periods or even year periods or month periods where nothing is happening, because you have so many developers now that are focused on this, and there's so many new games that are going to be launching. Games that are going to be updating. Axie Infinity has Battles version 2.0 and land gameplay. So any time that there are it starts to go down, they can just launch something new and reignite the excitement. But that
If Axie goes down, man, I'm
there's still
going
ebbs
in
and flows. There'll be
hard.
ebbs and flows. Yeah.
If Axie goes down,
If Axie goes
dump
down,
that
same.
shit. Dump that shit right
Caggy
now.
will buy all of the AXS and every
No,
single Axie. Dump them on him, man. He'll take them all.
Bro. People don't understand. People don't understand. This is a 10-year vision. This is not your fucking in the next 2 months. Axie is gonna be a vertical metaverse. You're gonna see so many games, and not only Axie. Okay, Axie is one of them, right? I believe Cagyjan is gonna turn into something that there's a new game out there that I've talked to the CEO as well that also has the same idea where they're gonna create this almost like Mario world where there's gonna be many Mario games with different aspects, and you could transfer your NFT between all those games. And Axie's gonna have that. Cagyjan's probably gonna have that. Maybe Blancos even goes into another game, and now you can take your Blancos and play it in another game. I mean, we're so early. We're so fucking early. Like I'm bullish. I'm bullish. Bullish.
Any short-term bear market is definitely a buying opportunity, no doubt.
What do you think, Zueljin?
There's a lot of game studios that are picking up games that are not currently blockchain and implementing play to earn models to it. Recently talked with a developer studio about some very old horror games that were viral at one point.
That would be cool.
A bunch of the bigger mainstream YouTubers.
Wait, is this the Fear coin?
Yeah, Fear. Exactly.
I was just reading the white paper today. It actually looks good.
Have fear.
They just pick up games and actually do they implement a ticket system so that people can do play to earn stuff. You can still play the games without without the ticket system, but you're able to use these tickets and get into the ecosystem and actually earn Fear tokens. And there's NFTs that give you some different variations of that gameplay too. So there's a lot, and I've been approached recently by a few studios that are like, we're an upcoming gaming studio that does this. We convert.
Zoo. I want to add to that. Engine is doing that with GTA. What do you think about that? They're taking a server. They already did it with Minecraft, but GTA is another level because GTA is blowing up on Twitch.
The wonderful thing about
I don't know how I feel about that.
And GTA and Arc and all of these games, especially in Unreal, is that they're so heavily moddable. Coming from a conventional gaming standpoint, I've played 5,000 hours in Arc and did a lot of content creation over the years with that. And the only thing to stop me from going insane was the modding community changing the experience so drastically that it kind of felt like another game in the same shell. If you can do that, especially with play to earn type mechanics, it's so easy to grind. The term grind gets moved around a lot in gaming because it's what it is. You're grinding for experience and this and that. But the grind becomes a whole lot different when it's actually generating you revenue. It's a lot easier to jump into those. And if you can find an ecosystem that you like that does that for you, or if you get tired of it, just switch to something else. I mean, you're looking at, maybe the project isn't as exciting right now, but your money's still going to stay in that play to earn. You're just going to move it. You might sell NFTs from one game to get into another, but it's going to continue. Like the stats are all the same. Gaming's going up, baby.
But what do you think about the aspect that these servers are owned by a centralized company, right? Like it's a centralized game.
Yeah.
So essentially, whenever the fuck they want, they say, we don't like that.
That is a big issue, yeah. Because that can happen with Minecraft
Engine
too.
is big though.
Yeah,
but Engine is big though. They have a lot of influence. There might be a deal there.
Having as much influence as a company like Engine is not. I mean, because these mods are like the one from Minecraft and the ones, they're not coming directly from Engine as a team. They're a team that is working within the Engine ecosystem. So I mean, I think that definitely is a
risk.
A risk, man. It's a huge risk because you think about
risk.
Anytime any of these games decide they want to hop into the blockchain, you better believe anything created on any of their servers is getting shut down so that they're the only ones with NFTs in their games.
Right, and we've seen that because we've already seen that with NFTs where like these Marvel artists, this is a big thing, like I don't know, early 2020 or late 2019, there were artists on Marvel and other big name studios who were like, oh, I'm a previous Marvel Marvel artists, whatever, and they started launching their own NFTs, doing things. And then, you know, DC, Marvel came by and they were like, hey, they started seeing these things were selling for a lot of money. And they were like,
the band hammer.
Yeah, putting the band hammer on it. We're going to shut this shit down because we want to be the ones to be able to license it out and to control it and control our IP and be able to get the money from it. So we don't want anybody else working on it independently. And that will happen to games, I think, too, that kind of go that route.
I think original IPs built on the blockchain, definitely the safest thing to buy NFTs for, especially like when you start to look at some of these companies like Gala that are creating decentralized server networks that the community owns and will be hosting the game on. So then it's literally community hosted servers running community owned games. Like that is when you can have real security, real like decentralization, and no longer is there this power at the top that can just shut everything down whenever they want, which is really what crypto is helping us escape from.
Kind of, but they could. But to add to your point, it's like at least the philosophy. Their starting point is, you know, decentralization.
Most of these projects aren't there yet, right?
Yeah,
like still they rely on the centralized force now in order to continue finishing the development. The hope is a lot of these games, once they're fully developed, once the entire game plan has been like implemented, that is when the community will truly control a lot of these things.
If YouTube wants to take over Twitch, if you're watching, head of YouTube.
They are watching. Don't worry, they are.
And we should clip this right now for Twitter. Stache put this. Look, if you're watching, if you implement NFTs, you know how Twitch has like drops, in-game drops, whatever. Implement NFTs, and no platform is gonna touch you. No platform. Do it right now. We're all YouTubers here, baby. We'll support it.
They already did it, man. Blankos did a drop with Twitch where you had to go watch the
Twitch?
stream.
No, we're talking about YouTube, baby.
Yeah. YouTube's never going to do that. They're never going to. Even though they think it's the future of gaming, they're like,
But we started this with the CEO of YouTube.
Right.
The head of gaming.
Next thing. It's the
head of gaming.
Head of gaming.
Same thing. CEO of gaming.
You will see some influence in the platform in general, because I mean, the CEOs we all bias, you know. If you're into it, you're going to make decisions based on it. But if she's a collector, she's already got a vision. She's already got the taste for it, you know.
It's a head of gaming. It's a he. But I mean, if he's saying that,
I thought you meant Susan.
No. But if he's saying that openly, they're comfortable talking about it inside for sure. For sure, that's a big ass company. You don't just tweet like that.
Some of our channels on the trending page, up and coming creators.
Yeah. Bro, I told them. I told the head.
Grease the pockets a little bit.
Yeah, I told them, yo, hook it up with the algo, yo. Tweak it up. What's up?
All right, wait, hold on. All right, I think we're running out of time here. Sorry, I got a couple. We're gonna keep going a little bit longer, but I got a couple fun questions for you guys to end it off. And I mean, randomly first, we were talking about game mods. Any of you guys play Gary's mod on Steam? I feel like that would be the perfect like place to implement NFTs, man. Like it's basically like it's literally like only community mods. Like the whole game is just like messing around and like creating all kinds of nonsense. And there's all kinds of YouTube series of like in-game films of people doing just like stupid BS.
I never played it, but that sounds like a gamer thing, like very gamer.
It's fun, man. It's fun. Yeah. But
I can't play if it's not NFT. I'm not playing, bro. I just can't put 1 single second of my life into a game that is not NFT. It's just not gonna happen. It just doesn't make any sense. It literally every single second I spend here. Time. It's not even that. It's about ownership. I forget about getting paid. Actually, like I told you, I'm more bullish on actually having the collectibles. I love the fact of having the collectibles. I don't care if I earn or not. I can earn if the collectible is cool and then I decide to sell it. I'm okay with that. If there's no token or whatever, I'm already okay with that. I want my collectible. I want to feel like I own this, like I'm going around in the metaverse with my.
You already got that. You just don't actually own it. You're just renting it. So you can get all the skins, all the collectibles right now, and all your favorite games. And you know, I mean, I'm right there with me. I love doing play to earn games, but I just love having. I mean, I enjoy playing games, and I think there's a lot of people I see this in chat, and it's always this kind of fighting. It's people like, oh, the only reason I play these blockchain games is because I want to make money. That's it. If I'm not making this amount of money, I'm doing it, and then they don't care. They don't care about gameplay. They don't care about how fun it is, how engaging. They don't care about the community. They're like, I just want to be able to make money. If I'm not making money, then it's over. I don't care. I'm not interested. It's all about the money for them. And for me, I want both. I want to have a game that I really enjoy. That is a great community.
I want to have my
that
cake and eat it too, baby.
Yeah.
Illuvium.
That's why Illuvium and Embersword. Embersword is gonna be the gateway for me, in my opinion, the gateway into the mainstream. That's gonna. I feel like Americans, because let's be honest, America literally consumes like a motherfucker. But
and they didn't care about Axie. America just ignored Axie.
Exactly. They're very skeptical. America they consume a lot, but they're very skeptical. So they need something to you need to like almost like brainwash them. Right? No.
Or maybe just on
blockchain. This is not blockchain. This is not blockchain. No, don't worry about it. And then they come in and they're like, oh, it's blockchain. I like it.
Oh, it is blockchain.
It is blockchain. Wow.
Yeah, no, this is not a fun game. I don't care about crypto. This is a fun game. I'm gonna hop in, and then after you're playing, you're like, wait, I can mint these things I've captured. I could mint these alluvials onto the blockchain and then sell them, and this one's worth $2,000. Like, and then they're gonna realize, I am so glad I was playing this game. I was crazy not to want to play blockchain games.
Illuvium looks so sick, man. Like, just the
Jake
art
is a paid actor, by the way. He's a paid actor.
I haven't been paid anything yet, but
he's a paid actor by Illuvium. Hey,
we're not all paid actors, though, man. I'm very excited, genuinely.
But Jake is a paid actor. I just want to be clear here. Paid actor, right?
Damn, throwing the shade, man.
Paid actor, activist.
a radical.
Paid activist.
I'm not a radical.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, bro.
I am. With you. I'm pro NFT. Pro NFT, 100% radical. That's for sure.
All right. I got one last question to end it off for all you guys. All right. So starting with Stache, man, your favorite or the in-game character you identify with most from all the games you've ever played in your life? Like, who's your favorite character, man?
Dang, that's a hard
question. Man. I know.
Okay, I'm gonna say Cloud from Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Echo from League of Legends.
Okay, Echo. I used to do a little Echo play myself, my friend.
I love the fact he can go back in time a little bit. He can mess up, restart. That would be dope to be Echo in real life.
You know, I don't have a character that was already created in a game that I felt like that about. But I've created some games. Okay. I've created some characters, and I'd have to say a character that I role played about in Ark Survival Evolved called Huck Weller. He was a piano player and a ghost hunter.
Damn.
Okay.
All right.
Very high end. I mean, I'm with Z there. I kind of never really got connected with characters, with what's it called? I forgot the word in English. Sorry, guys. The two languages. Celebrities. Like, I never looked up to anything. It was almost like I almost had my own way. But if anything, it's Master Chief from Halo. I play Halo 1, and I was a kid, and bro, the land plays that really touches my heart. So I can connect with that character in terms of like how it brings me back to my memories as a kid. That's for sure. Cool. So yeah.
I guess I'll end it off. Mine would probably have to be Star Fox, I think. From are you guys familiar with Star Fox?
Wait, no, Yes.
But yeah, man, like, I don't know. I feel like if I could be just running around the galaxy, you know, exploring all kinds of universes, you know, dealing with all kinds of creatures, that'd be sweet, man. Like old school Guardians of the Galaxy. Star Fox is Guardians of the Galaxy before Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. But that's all the time we have today, guys. Thank you for stopping by. For those of you guys watching, I forgot to say this at the beginning, but go ahead and smash that like button to show the YouTube algorithm who's boss out here in the NFT space, man. I want to see that. I want to see the like button smashed so hard that it's non-existent after this, man. Like, destroy it.
And comment without any scams. And subscribe with all notifications on.
The scammers don't listen to the videos, Cagy.
And if you're a bot, make sure to comment as many times.
I think they do. I think they do. When you tell them and you call them out, it's like, oh shit, wait. You know?
Now you just gotta ban all the keywords, bro.
Yeah. But Telegram banned. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to all of everyone's channel here, man. If you want to stay up to date on all the stuff that you need to know to navigate this crazy space. And you know, thanks for joining, guys. And I'll see you next week. Welcome to this was Around the Metaverse.
Everyone.
Peace out.
Next week.